From the moment we crossed paths, I knew there was something extraordinary about her. We met in a way that can only be described as chance. Fate had a hand in our meeting, and from there, that very first moment, I knew that she was unlike anyone I'd ever met before. Shauna possesses not only outer beauty, but also an inner grace, kindness, and strength. She brightens my life in ways I never imagined, and I'm blessed to call her my wife. For those of you who don't know, Shauna and I met in a quite awkward encounter. We'd stumbled upon each other on a dating app, and it was not my stupidity versus my stunning good looks that elevated me from the crowd. I'd sent her quite a lovely and personalised message to begin proceedings between each other, and I'll read it out now. Hey Shauna, how's it going? Do anything exciting over the bank holiday? I had a fairly boozy one in town, so still kind feeling effects, and by the way, you look stunning in your photos. Then the minor hiccup happened. I texted Shauna again with the exact same message, however I used another person's name. This message was of course meant for another person famously named Neve. I quickly found out that these messaging apps don't allow you to delete those messages, and I thought at this moment the ship had sailed and I was going to swiftly move on. Shauna, being her witty self, couldn't resist poking fun at my texting blunder and decided to message me back. I decided to see if the dwindling flame could be reignited, and I cheekily replied back, it could be a new way of saying how you met somebody, and I was just trying to mix things up. After some time, Shauna replied, it sure is, Tommy. You have to shovel an awful lot of shite before you find a diamond, and let me tell you, I am that diamond. Fast forward several messages later, and a lot of laughs in between, mostly at my expense. I threw a Hail Mary and asked if I could apologise in person and take her out for a drink. Shauna unenthusiastically said yes, if she could move a few things around, and that was the start of things to come. During these first interactions, I instantly knew that Shauna was exceptionally funny, up for a laugh, and certainly had no issue speaking her mind. But most of all, she didn't take life too seriously, and I was very much looking forward to meet her. As months passed, Shauna and I got to know each other, and during a challenging time in the pandemic, we found solace in each other's company. We introduced each other to our families, and I both think families can agree we connected instantly. Many months later, Darren mentioned to me that Shauna's past relationships hadn't really endeared themselves to the family. So luckily for me, the bar was set relatively low. As this is my speech, I'm hardly going to be mentioning any of my relationships. And sure, as the saying goes, Shauna, you have to shovel an awful lot of shit before you find that diamond. And we both can say we found our diamond. Those early days of our relationship were filled with excitement and adventure. I quickly realised that she was not just a companion, but somebody that challenged me to be a better version of myself. Shauna had poetically summed up our time together in a very short but lovely Valentine's card to me. She wrote, a double text, a lockdown love, and a whole lot of fun in between. We're a year on and still both just as keen. Do you remember that? After Wicklow, we decided to take the next step together and decided to move back in our family's house to begin saving for a house. We moved into a gorgeous house in Castleknock, and as the dust settled, I began thinking about the proposal. Firstly, I'd like to advise that proposing in New York is probably the hardest city in the world to find 2 minutes for privacy. Stupidly, thank you, Pat, I'd wait until the last day to propose. Catrice had been nervously waiting beside her phone for several days for the hopeful news. So I'd arranged to go to New York to visit my sister, and a few weeks before, I went over to ask Kat if I could surprise Shauna and book for her to come to me to join me at the end of my trip, which she obviously agreed to knowing the proposal could be en route. After plucking up the courage, I texted Pat. We met locally in the pub the next day. When we met, both of us were nervously drinking our pints of Guinness, talking absolute rubbish, waiting for that moment to happen. Pat was probably thinking, is this the time I get to finally hand Shauna off my hands? And I was thinking, what if he says no? Finally, I approached the particular subject, and Pat had a massive smile of delight, to which he replied that he would be delighted to give me his blessing to ask Shauna to marry me. And he said also, and I'm sure the rest will feel the same, the family. One of the things that has also stood out about Shauna is her wavering kindness and compassion. She has a way of making everyone around feel valued and loved, and I've seen the extent of that love and care to not only me, but also to her family and friends. She has a unique ability to see the good in people, to find the silver lining in the darkest of clouds, and to offer a helping hand to everyone in need. In Shauna, I found a partner that not only shares my interests, but also complements them in every way. She challenges me to be a better person, inspires me with her generosity, and fills my life with love and warmth. And I'm incredibly grateful to have her as my wife, my confidant, and my partner of my life's adventures.
Shauna and Tommy are now married. The bride deserves a kiss, and they both deserve a round of applause.
Thank you very much. To live in memory.
Thank you very much. Cheers, yeah, it's done.
Sometime. It's useless to say, so I'll just live my life in dreams of yesterday. Those happy hours that we once knew, long ago, they still make me blue. They say that time heals a broken heart, but time has stood still since we've been apart. Yeah. I can't stop loving you. I made up my